Welcome back to Killer Fun, where we explore the intersection of crime and entertainment every other week. I'm Christy, and today, Jackie and I are still on hiatus, but I have the spoiler-full gameplay for you of Death at a Dive Bar. We had so much fun playing this game, and once again, I have cut out all the extraneous silence where we're solving puzzles and things, but this one is far, far shorter than Mystery at Magnolia Garden, our Nancy Drew Hunt-A-Killer game. This Hunt-A-Killer game is a little easier. It went a little faster. It was super fun. We had a great time. And once again, I'd like to remind you that Hunt-A-Killer has provided discount codes for games and subscriptions at huntakiller.com. We really appreciate that. These discount codes are still active. They're super great. They're a great way to dip your toe in if you're not sure if this is for you. HuntGA1010 will give you $10 off any item. HuntGA10 will give you 10% off your entire order. That is super awesome if you're going to order more than one thing. Figure out which one of those is going to work better for you. Totally do it. And if you're interested in their 6 or 12-month subscription box, this is what we did very back at the beginning of the podcast. So it was the very first thing we did was Hunt-A-Killer subscription boxes. It was very fun. You can get 20% off of either one of those subscriptions if you do HuntGA20. Great discount coupons. We really appreciate Hunt-A-Killer for providing the games to us and these codes so that you can get a great deal. And I'm going to go ahead and let this gameplay go. It's, as I said, much, much shorter than the last one. So if you didn't love the length of the gameplay for Mystery at Magnolia Garden, this one will be more your speed. Enjoy. Okay, and I did go through and check and make sure that everything was here. So,
okay.
You want to read something?
All right. Shall I read it out loud?
Sure.
Okay. Hello, investigator. I'm so glad you've joined Gray Investigations. Nice little logo they have here. I'm excited to be mentoring a new member of our investigative team, and I trust you're up to the challenge of solving this crime. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before she came to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind Nick Webster was murdered. It's just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's already managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each of them more than capable of committing the crime. As you're working this case, pay attention to your suspect's means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer. When it comes to alibis, you should be able to corroborate everyone's whereabouts at the time of the murder. Anyone who can prove they weren't at the scene of the crime is probably in the clear, but it's not enough to simply exclude innocent suspects. To truly crack this case, you'll need to work out who the real criminal is and why they committed the crime. I'm enclosing all of the evidence Carmen sent. As you review her notes, remember, a good investigator never takes a suspect at their word. You should always be able to find information that confirms or contradicts someone's claims. Oh, and I should warn you, a little familiarity with code breaking often comes in handy in cases like this. Unsurprisingly, people with something to hide often use whatever methods they can to conceal their true intentions. I've had to familiarize myself with a lot of different varieties of cryptic communication over the years. I've left you with an example of one of those common types of codes I've encountered to help you get up to speed. But don't forget, once you understand the principle, there are lots of different ways to apply the theory. All right, I think I've given you all the advice I can. You should have what you need to find the killer if you're able to interpret the evidence. Good luck. Michelle Gray, private investigator, Gray Investigations,
Excellent.
LLC.
Excellent. That's smart to make themselves an LLC, protect themselves from liability.
Yeah.
That's smart. Here is the code breaking guide.
Okay. We have to know this. We have to study this.
Oh, no. We'll study that when we get closer to it. Once we find codes that need breaking. All right. Then we have a letter from Carmen, who from the Old Scratch Tavern. They have a very nice letterhead for a tavern.
Hey.
I'm like
they're
impressed.
Business,
That's
man.
right. I know, but sometimes like that kind of place will have, less sophisticated.
Yes, less sophisticated usually.
All right. Dear Ms. Gray, I'm writing because I think my boss was murdered, but I can't prove it on my own. I'm hoping someone at Gray Investigations can help me. Let me give you a little background. I learned everything I know about bartending from my boss, Nick Webster. He taught me how to pull a perfect pint and coached me on 86ing rowdy patrons. He even helped me rearrange my work schedule so I could be home more when my sister was sick last year. Nick was the best. Old Scratch Tavern isn't much to look at, but it's one of those places that feels like home. That was all Nick. I guess that's why it hit me so hard when Nick died in December. Ooh, that's right now.
How about that?
It was so sudden and so bizarre. The official story is that Nick was drunk and lost his footing, but too many strange things happened in the months leading up to his death for me to believe it was an accident. The thing is, Nick had been seeing the devil. For months, he'd been telling anyone who'd listen that there was someone or something lurking out in the woods behind the bar. At first, everyone assumed he was just exaggerating for the sake of a good story. Nick could spend the whole night in a corner booth spinning yarns and telling tales, but there's no way he could make up the creepy notes he was getting, or the dead animals on the doorstep, or the fires that kept flaring up near the building. He had no reason to, not when things were so dangerous. Someone was trying to scare him, maybe even scare him to death. He was obsessed with figuring out who was to blame. He'd stay in the bar's office for hours, poring over the security camera footage and scribbling notes. On the night he died, I just closed up when he came out of the office and said he'd finally figured it out. Before he could explain, he saw someone outside and ran off into the woods. My back was to the door, so I didn't see anyone. By the time I turned around, both Nick and the devil were gone, and all that was left was a small fire burning outside. After I put it out, I waited for Nick, but he never came back. I can't help wondering what he would have told me if he'd had the chance. After his death was ruled an accident, I went through and found all the notes he'd been keeping about the devil and a locked deposit bag I still haven't figured out how to open. I even found proof that the devil was real, finally caught on camera like Nick had been trying to do for months. I took the evidence I'd found to the sheriff, hoping it would change his mind, but he didn't care that Nick really was chasing after someone that night. The official determination is still that Nick slipped and fell off the cliff. But the thing is, I went out to the place where he died, and I don't think the authorities even bothered to look any further than the spot where they found Nick's body. There was caution tape around the rocks, but nothing on top of the cliff. The ground near the ledge didn't look like it had been disturbed since Saturday night, and if the authorities had been there, there's no way they'd count out foul play. I know I'm close, but I've still got questions I can't answer. I'm sending you all the evidence I've collected in hopes that you'll be able to do what I can't and bring my friend's killer to justice before it's too late. Sincerely, Carmen Rojas.
Okay. Alrighty.
And I noticed there's a little flame, watermark in the paper, too.
Oh, that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
It really is good letterhead.
Uh-huh. Right?
Yeah, it really is. Okay.
I appreciate that they had, obviously the help of a professional.
Yeah.
Good job. All right, what else we got here? Old Scratch owner's death ruled an accident. Tragic end to a difficult year, December 10th. I'm always impressed at how nice the
evidence is.
Yes,
it's legit.
Yeah, it feels like newsprint.
Holiday market, craft market, 10 a.m.
That's very
at the
fun.
Perdition Veterans Hall. That's cute. New development for Devil's Well.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's fun that they put something devilish on the back. There might be clues back there too.
Yeah, I think there's probably clues in this article back here.
Let's see. Oh, this too. There's the Deviant Tracker Lite database, which I vaguely kind of remember from way back in the day when we did Hunt a Killer when we first started this podcast. Mm-hmm. I think that was it. And I did a little looking just to see if that was a thing. And it is a thing within the Hunt a Killer universe that the Deviant Tracker Lite database is a thing they use repeatedly in games.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. So it looks like we have 4 suspects.
Okay.
Donna Goddard, Joan Campbell, Chris Thompson, and Sherry Webster.
Oh. Okay, that's the widow.
Uh-huh.
I'm finding them in this article.
Okay.
To know, like, how are they?
Yeah, how are they related? Would you like to have a couple of these and read them? You don't have to read them out loud if you don't want to. All right, I read those, so I traded them out for the ones I hadn't read yet.
All right, sounds good. I know you've already read those, so you've already done it. But.
Yeah, that's fine. No, you should look just in case I missed something. Okay, I'm going to make an early call.
Okay, what's your early call?
I suspect Joan.
Okay.
Because she didn't like the tavern.
Right.
She's like, complained about it being there. Nick's another name for the devil, by the way.
Nicholas? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's another like common devil pseudonym. Anyway, was found on the falls.
Right.
Okay, right. And Joan is trying to preserve the falls that are about to be sold, according to this article on the back of the article about Nick's death. So I'm going to make an early call.
Yeah.
That it's Joan trying to preserve the land. She thinks Nick has something to do with the selling of the land. And if she is annoyed by him and her motive is to kill him where she did, because then the devil's well would be tainted in some way so that it couldn't be sold.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Who was it? I didn't get to that part. Like, I was reading part of it, but like the proposed sale would include roughly 600 acres of land west of town, most of which is old growth forest, as well as several residential and commercial properties. Oh. There is no word yet about the purpose of the sale, but Lynch stated that the council considered the deal advantageous. Does that include Old Scratch Tavern?
Yes. Not Old Scratch Tavern, but the Devil's Well.
Devil's Well. Because it just says some commercial properties. And I was like,
maybe.
Like if it's 600 acres land west of town, and Devil's Well is close enough to walk to from the tavern.
Right.
Right?
It may include it, but she wouldn't be interested in saving that. And Sherry isn't reopening the Old Scratch Tavern.
Right. So I just wonder,
So unless Sherry's motivation to kill him was that she wanted to sell the property and he didn't. He didn't want to sell the Old Scratch Tavern, but she did. Maybe. And so she murdered her husband so she could not reopen it.
Right. Or Joan didn't want the tavern to be sold, so she didn't want the sale to go through at all, so that's the closest mischief she could cause to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. More things. I want to look.
All right. So we have a security camera footage. Oh, I think that was in.
Yeah, and here's the boot tread.
Oh, the boot tread that's supposed to be going through the deviant tracker light.
Yes.
Yeah.
That she's not impressed with.
Right.
She wish she could do the pro. Where is that? Now I'm losing it. Who was that?
It was one of those. I read it too. Joan, maybe?
Yeah, it is. It's Joan.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay. Here, this is what it is. I was like, there's the devil. You can see his little face.
Yes. This is what Nick, he found this.
Okay, so Nick and Carmen in the storeroom, and she didn't see it, but they caught it on. Oh, look at that. So he looks like I hate these. I know they're supposed to be helpful. These like measuring sticks next to the door. But the angle is always so up high.
But it's only helpful for actual persons watching, so that if you see somebody run out the door and the cops ask, you could be like, it was around 5.5 feet or 6 feet. Okay. It's not really meant for security cameras. It's meant for...
There should be like tick marks or something to identify so that you can tell when somebody's near it how tall they actually are. That's $1 million idea right there.
That is. Okay. I'm going to bring up this.
Okay.
Everybody's a suspect if we're going to be objective.
Sure.
Including Carmen.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, like, I know she's not one of the suspects technically, but if I'm asked, I would.
Sure.
Yeah. Don't trust anything. Well, okay. So I don't know if this security cam. What date is that from?
December 7th at 3:33 a.m.
Yeah. So, and he died when?
December 10th? December 8th?
December 7th.
December 7th. Okay.
Well, it doesn't say that. It just says official records show that Webster called Perdition Emergency Services 10 times between September 1st and December 7th.
Okay.
Right? So it could have been the 8th, but I think it was the 7th.
Okay.
Where's that that one? Does it say there?
No, I was looking. I didn't see it. I mean,
Because
maybe.
the reason I ask is that's from December 7th.
Right.
She says he had figured it out and wanted to tell her something.
Right.
So she goes back and she finds the proof.
Right. Which is here.
Okay. She says, on the night he died, I just closed up when he came out of the office and said he finally figured it out. Before he could explain, he saw someone outside and ran off in the woods. My back was to the door, so I didn't see anyone.
Her back's not to the door.
That's my point.
Okay.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So it could have been that he had security. He couldn't have found this security if that's when he ran after her.
Right.
Right? If this is the security cam from when he ran after her, after the devil, then she didn't get it right.
Okay.
When she said her back was to the door.
Right.
On the other hand, it can't be the proof he was trying to show her because that's the night.
Right.
Right? So he had footage from earlier.
Right. The only reason I'm going to rule Carmen out is because it's a 1-star game.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because I think that if you have the easy single diamond difficulty level, it's not going to be the lady who hired you to.
Probably not. But look, I mean, he does say you'll have to work out who the real criminal, the person who's the mentor, right?
Right.
It's not enough to simply exclude innocent suspects, blah, 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 blah. You know, a good investigator. So I'm enclosing all the evidence Carmen sent. As you review her notes, remember, a good investigator never takes a suspect at their word.
Okay.
So just
Okay.
yeah, just
Okay.
Just a note. But you're
Okay.
right. It's a 1-star game. So I'm
It's
hoping
a
it's not
one
that.
a 1-level difficulty.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the threatening note.
Ooh,
Interloper. Interlopers will be banished to the bottom of the devil's well.
Now, I mean, that does point to Joan because she's the person who's putting hexes and curses on people. But it
that's
also
right.
makes it easy to frame her because
Right.
everybody knows what she's doing.
Right.
Okay, so here, let's start putting some things up. Okay, so then we got Carmen getting a scary craft letter.
Yeah.
Unlike these people, they go through so much crafts to send something creepy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to go through the work to do the craft, don't you want credit for it?
I mean, right?
I mean, you would definitely want credit for
Oh.
it because you're not crafty. So if you're doing the craft, you want somebody to know that you did it.
Right.
You're like, look at this, I did it and it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do the crafts all the time and I still want credit.
Yes, you still should get credit for it. But there's no credit. Okay, so we have a boot print. This is Suspect Joan. Suspect Joan has the boot print situation.
Yeah.
You want to put it up here?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a watermark on it. Deviant tracker light. So that's how she printed out her little suspect things.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the boot print. Okay, so wait. Let's go back to sheriff guy.
Yeah.
Deputy, Perdition Sheriff's Office. This is Chris Thompson.
Yeah, did you get a load of his birthday? 1992.
Wow.
That's the year my husband graduated high school. When's his birthday?
June 28th.
Oh, yeah. My husband was a literal high school graduate
Yeah.
by the time that this character was born.
That's great. I love it.
Shit makes me feel old.
Let's be honest though. Chris Thompson?
I mean, pretty cute.
Yeah, pretty cute. It's always the cute guys. Okay, so here's the thing about him is we have these notes. So we have a thing. She got an open envelope and part of his notepad. So we need to look through those because that's part of him. Here's the open envelope. Okay, so
yes.
let's do Chris right now.
Okay, Chris Thompson. He lives at 131 Carmichael Road. Somebody wrote to him with crappy handwriting, but they mailed it from Perdition,
Okay.
Indiana, and it opens up. Ooh. Oh, this is code. This is some code crap here.
Yep. Fold that sucker inside out.
Yep.
Nothing on that side.
No. Well, dang it.
We're going to have to tape it. Okay. And it's definitely a code, yeah?
Yeah.
To play this game, you will need
That's right. You may need some
an old
tape.
Amazon box to make a crime wall, an investigator's bulletin board. What do you call that?
Well, I mean, you could have a cork board.
I mean, but who has that?
I mean,
Some people do.
I mean, both of my children have cork boards in their room, but am I going to go take it off their wall for this?
So,
no, I'm
Amazon
not.
box.
Yeah.
You also need string, scissors, tape, and lots of
I think the string is optional, but it is darn fun. It makes you feel like you're on
way
Criminal
fun.
Minds or
Yes.
whatever. All right.
Okay. Code.
I'm a little annoyed by the
the
code,
code?
honestly.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you thought like an easy box shouldn't have code.
All right, I'm gonna look at old what's his name? Chris Thompson's notes.
You need a pen
or
or a pencil
yeah,
or something.
and
and
here, and paper.
Yeah, because I don't want to write on the
Yeah,
envelope itself.
I have a pen and paper. I'm
You
sad
do. I see what happened. I see what's happening.
Yeah,
here.
my Harvard spiral that you brought me back from when you got. When you got graduated.
When I got graduated.
Boy,
when I got graduated.
when you graduated is almost gone, and I'm sad about it.
I know. All right, here's the thing though. When you're finished, tear off the front.
Okay, and keep it.
Yeah. And then you could upcycle another notebook, or you can do something with it. We can make it part of the Killer Fun lore because you've been using it for Killer Fun.
That's
for
right.
So long. I'm gonna sit here and work on this code.
Okay.
And if you want to read through these notes that she stole.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next thing. So this is probably a shift of 1 because I think they're gonna keep it easy where it's not gonna be like.
right.
But she said, they said it's there's different ways to apply the theory. So I don't know that it's gonna be a shift 1. It could be something else. So, because this would be CC.
Okay.
If I did it. Oh, wait. And if I did, what would start with AA with 2 letters that are the same? Right?
Well, if it was like CCTV, OU, would TV make?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Okay. Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. So, yeah. L, M, N, N. It would be an N.
Okay.
So, okay. Hold on. Our suspects' names. I think it's a 3. I think it's a shift 3.
Okay.
Here's why. Sherry Webster, okay, is definitely older than Chris.
Okay.
However, he's been over there hanging out and doing things.
Okay.
Right? Suspecting, it's a little creepy. She was arrested for shoplifting in 96 and 98, and the charges were dropped. But what if so it's signed F. So I'm thinking of the people we have who would have written him a letter, right? And I'm like, okay, it could be Donna, so it could be a shift of 2.
Okay.
Right? She has no criminal arrests. However, if it was Sherry, maybe it's C. Maybe the F is a C.
Oh,
right?
okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if it's signed F, then that means it could be C. It could be a D. It could be a J, which would not work. So all we can do is shift this way.
Okay.
We can only shift to the left, right?
Right.
Well, we can't only shift to the left, but there's a lot of Z's in this, and so that's why I think we can only shift to the left.
Okay.
Right. But so that means a shift 3. So 1, 2, 3, Z becomes W. But then B is, but you know what? It circles around, doesn't it? But anyway, let me just try this here.
All of the sources that we use to inform our discussion here on Killer Fun Podcast can be found on our social media. Join us on Facebook at Killer Fun Podcast, exploring the intersection of crime and entertainment. You can find us on Twitter at Killer Fun Pod, or you can send us an email at killerfunpodcast@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to share a link to whatever information you're looking for. We love to hear from you. You might learn a little something too.
But the code repeat. That's what I was thinking. Was like it's got to be some sort of like it like the shift changes.
Maybe we need. Maybe there's.
3, 2, 1.
Maybe there's a. Feel free, but maybe there's a clue somewhere else.
I think there's probably a clue somewhere else.
Okay. because Nick's notes are interesting. There
Okay.
are lots of fires, and he chronicles his notes. When you were cold in the ground, who will be sorry you were gone? These days, I'm not so sure. That makes me suspect his wife a little bit. I think we should keep looking because
keep
there might
looking.
be like
another
might be
another
clues.
clue.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think we're there. I mean, we're getting closer to that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
I think we're at a
I
place
agree.
where it won't take long for us to figure out that's the thing.
Right.
I'm going to leave that. That's fine, because as soon as it hits me, I'm going to want to write it down.
Yeah.
So, okay.
You should read these because that's interesting.
Yeah, okay. So these notes are actually from Nick,
Yes.
and Chris had them.
Yes. Yes. He had Nick's notebook.
Nick's notebook. Yeah, because him and C, not doing so good.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Can't forget Darling's gift.
Yeah, C at Mother's, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, divorce maybe?
Maybe. Yeah.
So the envelope was also Nick's,
Yes.
and he's the one trying to figure it out.
Right.
So he's the one that was onto it. He knew that Sherry was cheating on him,
Right.
and that, okay, so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Donna,
Right.
patron at the bar, left a note on a menu. We need to talk. She also circled words Wednesday about land Devil's Well,
At 11 p.m.
11 p.m. And then she also left her phone number or a phone number on the empty matchstick. It's not real.
It's not real?
Not real
Oh.
scratch pad on
What's
there.
in it? Is anything in it?
No, there was nothing in it.
Oh, okay.
It was empty.
So that box is in this picture.
Oh,
And that's the picture that Carmen found at Jones.
yep. So there's a matchbox. Maybe not this one.
Maybe not that one.
I bet it's that one though.
Well, because why would Carmen... Obviously, Carmen was like primed because of this. Like, she's the one who saw this.
Okay, but Donna's also wearing boots in this picture.
Yeah. So maybe... But how did it get back if it was there afterwards?
Well, this was left the night she died. This photo. Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
She left this for him at the tavern.
right.
So
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's a red herring.
a little bit, maybe. Maybe it's not. Because somehow it would have had to get out to there. Where did Carmen retrieve this from? She
This
retrieved
was
it
left-
from the tavern.
right. Yeah, it was left
it's
at
gotta
the
be
right.
Just, but it does say something else. This is the tavern matchboxes.
Right.
That means Joan has been there. Joan could have been in the tavern to get a
Okay.
matchbox.
Right. Yes.
Right? Or somebody who had a matchbox.
Somebody who's been in the tavern is
Dropped it out there.
Yes. Also left the boot prints.
So it could be Joan. It could be Sherry. Sherry's always in the tavern. Donna's always in the tavern, but unless Donna had a couple of them.
Right.
But I guess you could have just grabbed
Should
one
I
extra.
call this phone number?
Yes, you should. I don't know why we haven't done it yet. I was like, why haven't we done this?
Hi, you've reached Donna Goddard at Who's Your Realtor. I'm currently out of town on business. If you're interested in scheduling a showing for a commercial or residential property, please leave a message and I'll be happy to set something up when I get back from Indianapolis.
From where?
I don't know. I'm going to call it again.
Yeah.
Boonville, Indiana. Indianapolis.
Okay. Is that what it said? Indianapolis?
Yeah. So she was going to Indianapolis, but we don't know when she's coming back.
No. So Tuesday, when the paper was printed, was the 10th, which makes Monday the 9th.
So this was
So if Tuesday was the 10th, Wednesday was the 11th, this menu is telling him where.
Oh,
When.
when?
Wednesday, 11 p.m., Devil's River, or Devil's Well, about the land. And that was Wednesday. So it was planned on Wednesday. That she wanted to talk to him on Wednesday. And then he died before they could talk.
Okay. So it's
something.
about the land. Points to Joan.
It does point to Joan because Monday's town council meeting turned contentious when a preliminary hearing about selling a parcel of municipal land ended in threats against the council members. The meeting, scheduled originally for only 30 minutes, continued for over an hour when Joan Campbell stood up during the question and answer period. Blah, 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 blah. So Campbell accused the council of accepting bribes and claimed that Devil's Well is a sacred site that deserves official protection. She ended by threatening to come to the councilors' homes and do what you want to our environment. Yeah, do to you what you want to do to our environment.
Uh-huh.
She's on the council, right?
Oh, okay. Donna is?
Yeah, and here it says she's in everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So like out of town, she's probably involved with that. So she was there, and then it was like, we need to talk about this land thing. So there's something going on about the land thing, which again points to Joan. So that's interesting. What else we got?
All right. We have a notice, Perdition Sheriff's Office notice of warning, a citation number on Saturday the 7th at 3:31 a.m.
3:31 a.m.
Uh-huh.
On the 7th?
On the 7th.
3:31.
Yeah, 2 minutes before that photo was taken, for a Lincoln 4-door silver vehicle, license number 500 MIL.
What is it? What license number is it?
The driver's license number? Mm-hmm. 6292015374.
Does it have the registration number? Because you said a silver Lincoln, right?
Yeah, silver 4-door Lincoln.
That's Donna's car.
Oh, so Donna's car, but she was supposed to leave like an hour before.
Yeah,
But her car is still there.
Yeah, but she left. She's
okay,
still
but there was a citation.
Maybe she walked over to Jones.
Yeah, or maybe she walked up to or maybe she's wearing a devil mask and running around.
I mean, who knows?
Her tail lights were out. No, it's not a parking violation.
Oh, so she was driving away.
Yeah. Violation of tail lights out. Looks like Chris was
So she was driving away and he ticketed her. So her alibi is that she was literally leaving at that time.
Or she was, yeah. So
but like
she
at
was
3:31, the two of them
are not, yeah.
Because they're together and they're near the bar, but not.
Right. Yes. Let's see, where's the menu? Does the menu have an address on it? Can you see at the bottom?
No, not on this side.
Okay.
I think it's actually in that paper, though. Where was it? What's the address?
Because it was on Eagleton Creek Road.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay.
Wow. Assaults on parking enforcement personnel are fully prosecuted.
The letterhead. 6 County Road 66.
Okay.
Cute. Very, very cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so
she wasn't there. Okay.
And neither was Chris.
Yeah. Okay. So we know it can't be Chris or Donna.
But we might know that because Donna's already leaving him things in code. Right. Sounds like they were talking about something. Right. So I'm looking at Donna and going, okay, what is the code here? Like, I think it's going to be her stuff that gives us the clue.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Right. Okay.
Okay, what is...
Oh.
Okay.
All right. We have a flyer. Protect Devil's Well. Ritual to banish evil forces. Meet at the Stone Circle near Devil's Well, December 7th at moonset, 3:04 a.m. I wonder who could have put this together. Could it be Joan? We cannot stand idly by while despicable people wreak wanton destruction and desecrate our precious untapped land. We must protect our wild spaces from interlopers. Which is which we saw on the ransom note.
Yeah.
Bent on ruination. Keep Devil's Well pure. Keep Devil's Well pure.
So either somebody can frame her because it's out here in the public, or it's her. So I don't know. All right. So I'm thinking with Donna, I got a thing.
Okay.
I think it's, I don't know. I'm going to try something else real quick.
Okay. That's fine. Construction on new construction on CR 66, which is the road that the violation was on. CR 66. I wonder if it's a 6. That would make sense with sixes.
Yeah.
Join hands in this ritual to eliminate the foul forces despoiling our sacred wilderness. No experience required.
Thanks. Okay, here's the other pictures.
Hey, look, here's a map.
Okay.
Old Scratch Tavern, the Stone Circle, the Devil's Well, County Road 66.
Right.
Do not park at the Old Scratch Tavern. They are the enemy. You will be towed.
So we don't really know how close Eagleton Creek is to,
Yeah.
Old Scratch Tavern, but we know that she was headed away.
Right.
So,
Yes.
all right, these pictures.
Uh-huh.
These
The boots. Uh-huh.
where were these pictures from?
Oh,
This is from Jones, right?
Yes, I believe so.
This one is from Chris's car because she said, on my way out, I took a peek into his car, noticed something that might be useful.
Okay.
So this is a boot track, and
Okay.
that's a boot track. And I mean, we have to compare, but this is the boot track that matches that.
Uh-huh. Oh, and there's a boot track on this too, on
Yeah.
these notes.
Right. So he got these boots from somewhere then. Well, because these are the same. These are the
Yeah.
and that's this. But that one does not match.
This one doesn't match.
But this is from his car, from Chris's car. They don't look that big.
No, they don't. Well, it's hard to know. But why would Chris have those boots in his car that match?
Because he's the one doing the investigate. He knows, right? Like he's investigating because he knows, he gets it. This is why he had his notes, Nick's notes, and he had all of that. I think Sherry is my second contender here.
That would make sense because that would be why Chris would have Sherry's boots in his car.
Mm-hmm. And was able to get them. Uh-huh. Right. He's able to get Nick's notebook and these boots because he's able to get into the house, Oh, there's so many more things. Wow.
Oh, hey.
There's like a bunch more. Hold on.
Oh, here we go. Here's boot tracks from Deviant Tracker.
Wait. We said this is from the notebook, but this could be the notebook that she got.
Oh. Yep. Oh.
So from her original letter, right?
Let's look. So there's Nick's notes and deputy notes.
Yeah.
So those are deputy notes.
So Chris did not have Nick's notebook.
Oh, okay. We were confused.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, this is stuff that she got from the office.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to read through Chris's notes.
Okay. I'm going to look at the boot track stuff from the Deviant Tracker.
Yeah. Okay. This is the whole crime scene.
Okay.
Body found at 06:37.
Okay.
So 6:30-ish.
Uh-huh.
Then by 6:59, made initial search of area. No signs of struggle on riverbank. Fall from the ledge seems likely. And then at 7:29 a.m., coroner arrived. Agree fall is likely cause of death. Says he's probably been dead 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
Right? Went to 2CR66. That is Joan. Talked to neighbor who found body. Stated she was out for a walk shortly after 6 a.m. when she discovered the body on the rocks beside the waterfall, then returned home to call police. Back to scene at 10:22 a.m. Search of waterway. Haven't found much so far except beer bottles that look like litter. And then 11:17 gave update to McGinty. Agrees with accident scenario. Will proceed accordingly. 12:32 coroner okayed removal of remains, mostly from Morty from Boggs Funeral Home to pick up. And then 13:05, so that's 1:05 p.m., told Sherry. She took it about as expected, did my best to calm her down, reassured her foul play is unlikely. Made sure she called her mother to come down and stay so she's not alone at a time like this. It's always the spouse. It's always the wife.
Okay, but
because he was about to divorce her.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Now she can sell the tavern to somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
And he was about to divorce her and so I don't know. Like Sherry is moving up my list of things.
Okay.
Kind of a perfectionist, but in a good way. It says scholarship fell through when she was younger. I don't know.
Okay. So the boots that were in
Chris's
car are men's boots.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So according to this.
According to
because I'm like, that's
Tracker.
the classic Timberland boot. So
yeah. But they're the boots on Joan.
I think
Joan's
this is
porch.
Joan's porch.
Right. Are women's boots, which would make sense. I felt like, oh, I'm close because the devil's footprints are these men's shoes, right?
Yeah.
So why would his boot prints be around?
Well, he was out there. I mean, according
Right.
to his notes.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
So he
possible dead body, blah, blah, blah. Made initial search of area, no sign of struggle on Riverwalk. That was 6:59 a.m. or after the body was found. So
she went up there and found his boot prints.
yeah.
But these boot prints were in Nick's notes.
Right. Well, because he's having an affair with his wife.
Oh,
so
right.
I don't know how much.
So maybe they're not the boots of the devil, but just boots that Chris is sneaking around.
And he's trying to track it down. So he feels like maybe that's the devil, but actually it was just Chris. I don't know. He doesn't say anything about this boot print thing. I
Yeah, he
mean,
does,
really,
right next
I
to
mean,
it.
I know, but like still no footage. Prints though, the devils, this is fire by loading dock. 1:56 a.m. on November 19th.
Okay.
Because, and then, so that was November 19th and November 23rd. What is she thinking? Why would she go behind my back like that?
Yeah. So he's discovered that they're
It could be.
stooping.
But we know that Chris was busy at the time of death. So
Right.
that's a pretty strong alibi.
We also know that it just seems interesting that Joan wouldn't have seen something if we know she was at the Devil's Well at 3:04 a.m. and he'd been dead for 3 hours.
Well, he'd been dead.
For 3 hours when she found his body at
It would have
6:30.
happened afterwards. Yeah. Because
Right. Yeah, but she would have been. It seems interesting that she wouldn't have been like, I'm here at 3:04 a.m. and I'm gone, right?
I don't know. So, okay,
know
let's read this. So 0312, remember, report of suspicious person at 13 CRCC or CR, whatever. What is that?
66.
Yeah, CR 66. That's the road, right?
Yeah.
Where's the letterhead? It's right here.
Yeah.
So this is 6 County Road, and this suspicious person is at 13.
Okay.
Okay. No sign of unusual activity. Arrival, search property, called in, all clear. Blah, blah, blah. At 0331, traffic stop at CR 66 and Eagleton, right? That's with Donna.
Right.
At 0401, collision between blue Cadillac and black Lincoln, Hawkins Road near the blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. So, but this footage is at 333, and then he runs out. So that means he slips and falls at like 340, right?
Yeah.
3:45. The coroner says 4 hours, and that was a 7:30. So
Yeah.
6:30, 5:30, 4:30, 3:30. 3:30 at the earliest. We know where he wasn't there.
Right.
So we know that it's like so she could have been out there and left.
The date you can't forget. Month, year. We serve Holt's beer and ale. Oh my gosh. This is Good Fences. It's like next door.
Okay, huh? Good fences make good neighbors. Thank you, Dr. Phil.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh,
I just opened it.
Oh, okay, good.
The date you can't forget, month and year. So the anniversary is November. They were married in 04.
Okay.
'Cause that's
the
since
Websters
2004.
Oh,
So
on this-
11-4.
on this super nice.
It's really okay. That's
Like-
the one thing I noticed about this is every box we've opened, right,
Has
from
had-
before too, and then it has something in it that you could totally keep and use, like that's kind of part of the game.
Yeah. That's super awesome.
Okay, here's you've got all the notes. All right, so and then
okay.
I opened this.
Okay, good. Okay. So
This is nice too.
I think you might be onto something with Sherry
Okay, all right.
because Carmichael residents beware, and as a lady hollering about somebody woke her up. Do we have Chris's address
Chris's address,
on the thing?
131 Carmichael.
Okay, she lives on Carmichael Road. The neighbor's inconsiderate hussy of a girlfriend shows up to his house. She knocked over a bunch of stuff in his backyard and played really loud music. This was at 6:32 a.m. She's posting this. That's what all the noise was around 2:30. Okay. So at 2:30 in the morning, she's going to Chris's house on
Yeah.
Carmichael Road.
But he wasn't there because he was on shift.
Right. He was on shift, but she was going to his house and she was drunk. All right. Then there's another post. I know it's last minute, but is anyone going to this banishing ceremony out by Devil's Well tonight? I've seen flyers for it around town and it sounds cool. I don't want to get murdered or whatever. Anyone know who's organizing it or what their deal is? Okay. And then she's update. I went and it was totally bonkers. I got there at like 3 in the morning and it was just me and this lady with a basket of weird herbs. We spent 30 or 40 minutes burning herbs and chanting. At one point, I heard something crashing around in the underbrush and I got worried that she'd actually summoned something. But I guess it was just an animal or whatever. Then she hands me the shovel and tells me to start walking. I thought she was going to kill me for sure. Instead, she made me pick up a dead fox off the side of the highway and carry it over to this old dive bar. She made me put the fox on the ground by their mailbox, and then she covered it with the ashes from the fire and yelled for Vinegar Tom, whatever that means. After that, she thanked me for helping support the cause and asked if I needed help getting back to my car. Anyway, I guess perdition has its very own witch, but at least I didn't die. 7 of 10 would go again.
I kind of love that. That's great.
Okay, so she heard
Yeah.
they were there for 30 to 40 minutes.
Yep.
For this Devil's Well thing. She heard something in the underbrush, which tells me it was the falling.
Yeah.
I wonder.
And then she goes and finds this dead fox.
And puts it, so we know who's been putting the threatening stuff it's Joan.
Because she hates that tavern for all of its sinfulness or whatever.
I don't know why she hates it. Okay,
Let's open
so what's
this.
in there?
Okay, first of all, another keepsake. This is a pretty phenomenal bag.
Yeah.
FYI. And it locks.
Which is pretty cool.
It's even got like a Velcro thing too.
Oh.
And 2 compartments.
That's handy.
That is handy. That's nice, man. This is a great little money bag. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
But like, yeah, you just zip that up and put it back in there. I'm assuming you can push it back together.
I'm sure you can. Okay.
That's cool. Okay.
And there were 3 things in there, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Good.
So the first thing is a set of emails from Tate Travert to Nick Webster. This is sent November 23rd. Dear Mr. Webster, I apologize for reaching out to you directly. I understand you're a busy man, but since I haven't heard back from your wife about our latest offer, I thought I'd try you instead. I can assure you we are still highly motivated to acquire your property. If there are any aspects of our offer which I can provide clarifications, please don't hesitate to ask. So Donna is a real estate agent. She's probably also helping handle some of this as well. Mm-hmm. And she did help them buy it.
Right.
So, all right. So then dear Mrs. Webster, this is November 8th, and he kind of this is going backwards.
Where are Nick's notes?
Right here. Well, they were right here. Oh, right here.
November 23rd. What is she thinking? Why would she go behind my back like that?
Yeah.
So she is trying to
sell it.
To sell the tavern out from under him.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. So maybe it's not an affair. Maybe it's not an affair. But where does that leave the boots? Okay, Miss Webster, I appreciate that big decisions like this one take time. I hope to hear from you soon to discuss finalizing our offer. If there's anything further I can do, please let me know. And then October 25th, this is Sherry Webster. Dear Mr. Travert, I'm so glad we were able to come to an agreement. Nick and I just need a few weeks to put our affairs in order, and then we should be ready to finalize the deal. Thank you for your patience. I'll be in touch soon. Then October 21st, dear Mrs. Webster, of course, that's no trouble at all. I'd be happy to discuss the details of our offer with you over the phone at your earliest convenience. I think you'll find it quite reasonable. And then earlier than that, this was on October 18th, my birthday. Mr. Trevor, thank you for taking time to speak with me this morning. My husband and I have been so troubled by what's happening at the bar, and honestly, it would be such a relief not to worry anymore. Running Old Scratch means so much to Nick, but these days I can't shake the feeling that something terrible will happen to him. As you can imagine, he's been preoccupied recently, so he asked me to handle the sale directly. I hope you understand. Okay.
So
let's
she,
just-
yeah.
I don't, yeah. I don't know. Okay. Oh,
Another another code to break.
yeah.
We haven't broke the first one
I
yet.
know. This is far worse as far as like lining up than the other one.
Yeah, but you know what? There's hints. A shift could change numbers between letters, words, or lines.
There's a number here, 407. So maybe it's 407. Or that would be a little easy. Why would you put that like, This is from
Four.
G.
Okay. Well, okay. Hold on. That would be a little easy, but if it's 407, so what's the
First one of this one?
First letter. Yeah.
I don't really know. It's either a C or an E. I think it's probably meant to be a C.
C. Oh, that would make it a Z.
I don't know these stupid codes. Let's read this. Okay, so this is, interesting. No, it wasn't divorce papers.
Yeah, it was papers about the sale.
Nope.
Oh, what is it?
A last will and testament.
Oh,
So, disposition of property, blah, 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 blah. To Carmen.
he left everything to Carmen?
Nope, just the Old Scratch Tavern.
Which how did, and Carmen didn't know that because it was in this locked thing.
She had no idea then.
So, Sherry is not going to share that with,
Sherry's
Carmen.
not in the will.
okay.
Oh, hold on. Okay, this is funny. I bequeath the remainder of my estate. Okay, wait. To be the remainder of the estate. Okay, to Joan Campbell of Perdition.
Who?
That's our Joan.
No, that's Donna.
Joan. Joan. Yeah, Joan Campbell.
What?
She's up there.
Yeah.
It is Joan Campbell. Yep.
So what's he leaving to Joan?
Of Perdition, by way of apology for the trouble she has suffered because of me, I leave the amount of $5,000 in support of the Save the Devil Wells Foundation. Should she fail to survive me or for any reason refuse this bequest, this amount should be donated to the Perdition Animal Rescue Society in the name of Vinegar Tom, the cat. I've always felt terrible that the driver who killed your Tom was leaving Old Scratch, and I don't blame you for holding a grudge. I hope this helps make things right. I should have done it sooner. That's why she hates them, because who was screaming Vinegar Tom?
That was Joan. It was that was in the Good Fences thing.
The Good Fences thing,
Yeah,
screaming Vinegar Tom.
Yeah, and then she covered it up with ashes from the fire and yelled for Vinegar Tom.
Yeah. Okay. For Donna Goddard, okay, in recognition of her years of loyal patronage, I provide that she shall receive free drinks at Old Scratch Tavern for the period of her natural life, for as long as the bar remains in business, whichever is longest. Should she fail to survive me for any reason or refuse this bequest, it is not transferable to any other individual. You supported me from the very start, and I want you to know you'll always be welcome at Old Scratch. And then to Carmen Rojas, in thanks for her steadfast service and honest friendship, I leave the remainder of my estate, including Old Scratch Tavern and all associated assets, the balance of my retirement account, and the payout of my life insurance policy. Should she fail to survive me for any reason, refuse this bequest, I then devise and bequeath the remainder of my estate to her sister, Christina Elena Rojas. It's the least I can do for you, kiddo. You're the best damn bartender in Indiana and the kind of family I always hoped I'd find. I couldn't leave the bar in better hands. Omission. I have intentionally, and not as a result of any mistake or inadvertence, omitted in this will to provide for my spouse, Sherry Ann Webster. I know you never cared much for the bar, but I thought at least you still cared for me. I was a fool to think so, but better a fool than a liar, I guess.
Oh,
Dang!
the snark.
So Carmen has no idea that the bar is actually hers because everything's in this locked thing.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. That's the last of it, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, we know Chris and Donna weren't there. So we can say Chris and Donna weren't there.
Okay, there's something inside the locked bag that should help us with that cipher.
Yeah, it was the last will and testament
Or maybe
and the
it was,
emails.
Oh, and this thing.
Yeah.
Maybe 407
I mean,
is
that's
for
where
this one.
that's what I'm leaning towards, the 407, but I feel like I'm so close. Yeah. Like 4 is over the C. 0 is over N, and 7 is over S.
Okay, so 407 is for this cipher, and it's from the number of the house.
Oh, I see.
So this one's 131.
Okay, 131. Okay.
So
That makes sense. Okay, so, but which shift is it that way? Let's see. 1, 3, C, C. No, sorry. C, A, and then N, can, T, right? Right?
yes.
Well, hey, wait, no. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
'Cause what, 131?
Yes.
Yeah, 131. So it's 131. Okay. So can't you, I'm sure. Well, no, it's a 4-letter word. 1, 3?
131. Would you like to know what it is?
Yeah, because that doesn't make sense
If
what I
you'd
just
wanna-
did.
Okay.
That doesn't make
So
sense.
it is 131.
But
it's
that's
a
what I
pain
made.
in the ass.
Yeah.
So can't wait to see you. Mind if I borrow the car again?
So yeah, it's 131, 131, 131.
The note is from Sherry to Chris.
I knew it.
So Sherry was wearing Chris's boots.
I knew it was Sherry with the
Okay.
F. I just knew it because that's why I kept going. It's got to be 1, 2, 3. But that's why I said shift 3. But it never got to the address. That was simple. Looking at the address number. What does the other one say?
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out where that.
Okay, because it's 407. That takes a lot.
Yeah. Like I feel like we figured it out, right? Like close enough.
We kind of did.
Like we understood how to do it. We're just not going to sit here and take the time to do it.
Well, we did get the hint to figure out the code.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know that it counts.
Right.
We didn't do that
That's true.
because we
That's
got
fine.
it was once we got the hint for that. So we didn't really figure out how to get the code.
Sometimes I think being smart is a hindrance in these sorts of games.
Well, I don't think it's about being smart. It's about really when you're intelligent. Creativity is a part of that, and creativity is what helps you look at something in a way other than the way it's meant to be used. We
Right.
have a fixedness, right? So we have a fixedness when we look at materials, and so it's the ability to look beyond that. Like it's not just the address,
Right.
right? And in this case, it was written down there, the address, and here. So you have to be willing to see it outside of what it really is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's a matter of intelligence. I do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, I feel like I'm overthinking things. Like we should have known from the start it was Joan or Sherry.
Oh, no, I don't know
mean-
that we're overthinking things. I think that's just part of the game.
Okay.
But I do think that we also know we are on a time limit.
Sure.
And that makes us probably fall into fixedness bias way
Sure.
easier. Lock deposit bag reveal.
Yeah, it wasn't in there. Oh, if you addressed envelope reveal. Anytime, wish it were just us without your old man in the way. From Chris to Sherry. Okay, so they're having a affair.
Yeah, which we kind of called from the beginning.
Right.
And then she also betrayed him by trying to sell the thing out from underneath him.
Right.
Right? And so he took her out of the will and left it to Carmen.
Right.
It's-
Okay, so what did we have to find? The motive,
The motive and the opportunity and the means.
and the means.
Well, obviously,
The means or she pushed him.
Pushed him. I think the opportunity was that he was there closing at 3:33. And and Chris was away doing his thing, and she's not accounted for.
Right.
Everybody else is accounted
Well-
for. Joan was at her little seance. Donna was getting pulled over by Chris.
Right.
Right? Carmen is standing in the footage.
Right.
The only person left is Sherry.
Right. So it's got to be her. Even though, so maybe she went to Chris's house and saw he wasn't there and then went back. And she borrowed his car and used his shoes to do her running around. So do we think we got it?
I think it's Sherry.
I think it's Sherry
Pushes him off because
to sell the bar and maybe be with Chris. And that's her motive.
and the opportunity it was just that late night.
Okay.
And she had somebody else she could blame, Joan.
Right.
Hence the note.
Right. Because we know it couldn't have been Joan because
Right.
she was down.
But all her stuff was so public, it made it easy to try to frame her, which is
Right.
why I felt like it was a frame up.
Okay.
but who knows? All right, reveal this.
All right, here we go. Hello, investigator. Nice work. Thanks to you, Sherry Webster is behind bars.
Woohoo!
And your client, Carmen, found justice for her friend. I knew you were up to this challenge. I bet I'll be turning to you for help on future cases, too. Congratulations on your success, Michelle. Webster's death, a murder suspect arrested. The death of Old Scratch Tavern over Nicholas Webster has been reclassified as a murder, according to official paperwork filed this week. Though Webster's December 7th death was initially ruled an accident, the case was recently reopened as a homicide. Sheriff Paul McGinty confirmed suspect is now in custody in connection with Webster's death. Sherry Webster, the victim's widow, has been charged with the murder of her husband, and the motive of which is to believe to be financial gain. Mm-hmm. The sheriff's office announced there will be an external inquiry into their handling of the investigation into Mr. Webster's death. While Sheriff McGinty would not discuss the scope of this inquiry, he did confirm that Deputy Christopher Thompson, the officer in charge of the original investigation, has been suspended without pay. According to Carmen Rios, an employee at the bar Mr. Webster owned, the case was solved thanks to new evidence uncovered by a private investigator. None of this would have happened without the help of Gray Investigations. She said, I'll always be grateful to the investigator who worked on my case.
See, that's why Chris didn't investigate it that well.
And on the back is a grand reopening
sweet
advertisement.
See, because we knew that Chris kept saying, accidents happen because it's better that, don't talk about that but then he starts investigating because he realizes his girlfriend killed her husband.
Yeah.
That's why he was all like, okay.
Yeah, a little cagey. There we go. Well, we did it.
We did it.
We didn't really need the...
We didn't really need the codes. We had figured that out. We kind of figured out it must be from Sherry to begin with.
Right.
To him.
Right.
And we knew, and actually we figured out part of the shift code before we looked for help. Right. But had we not been on a time limit, I think we would have looked through stuff more casually and maybe this bottle opener is fire.
I mean, it's super nice, right?
It's very nice. And this money bag, also very nice.
I'm like, can we sell something at a trade show just so we can use this money bag?
I mean, seriously. Why? Why not? It's so great. It's a very interesting little design.
Oh, yeah, where you put the zipper in the middle.
Yes, and then you...
and they lock.
Yes, but you have to catch each one because...
Cool. Super fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
We did good.
We did. We did a great job. My initial thought was wrong.
But we did see that Sherry was clearly trying to push the investigation to Joan.
Yes. She's trying.
So...
Witch. Who was the witch?
Who's the witch?
Wasn't Joan.
It was not Joan.
It wasn't Joan. All right. Thanks so much for joining us as we went through that gameplay. It was a very fun game. That one was a little easier, but we had a little more time constraints, but it was a good time. We had a great time. We hope that you'll use those discount codes. Don't forget, I put those up at the beginning of the show. They're still active. They're still good for you. They should be good for a very long time. So go ahead and use those if you're interested in yourself or for a gift. The self-contained games make a great gift. Next time, I have one more episode of Outtakes, and we're going to have that for you next week before we return to our normal release schedule. We really appreciate that you take the time to listen to us. We know we don't just come on the radio. You make a choice, and we really appreciate it. Tell a friend. It's so much more fun when you can listen with a friend. Get that friend and order a game and play for yourself and let us know how you did. Find us on the socials. And until next time, be safe, be kind, and wash your hands.
Da, da, da,